All right, good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Epsilon chapter of Kappa Psi Fraternity Incorporated and the Pi Beta chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, we would like to welcome you all to the 30th annual Denise, Yyonne, Giles Crimson and Cream Scholarship Ball, Black Wall Street, Continuing Our Legacy.
Before we get into what we have planned for this evening, I would like to give you all a little bit of background on how this ball started. This event is extremely important to both of our chapters. This event not only is an opportunity for students to showcase their talents, but it also commemorates our late soror, Denise, Yyonne, Giles. This year marks the 30th annual Crimson and Cream Scholarship Ball. I said 30. Denise Yyonne Giles, a member of the Pi Beta chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, dedicated her life and energy to serving others. She graduated from the University of Rochester in May of 1989 and worked tirelessly to help her community. On Wednesday, November 29, 1989, our beloved sister passed away due to an act of domestic violence. In her memoriam, the Denise Yyonne Giles Scholarship is awarded annually to students attending SUNY Brockport, University of Rochester, and Rochester Institute of Technology.
This year, we're excited to be able to offer not just one, but two scholarships. Our traditional essay scholarship, and for the first time ever, Crimson Tank. As mentioned earlier, our theme is Black Wall Street, Continuing Our Legacy, centering on the historical significance of economic empowerment and resilience within the Black community. Black Wall Street in the Greenwood District was built in the early 1900s as a result of the segregation laws preventing Black Americans from shopping in many areas in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It grew into one of the most successful Black communities of the early 20th century with businesses, schools, libraries, churches, law offices, a bus system, a school, even a hospital. However, in May 1921, a false accusation was made against a Black man, Dick Rowland, led to the violent Tulsa race massacre, where white mobs were destroyed. White mobs destroyed the districts, killing many Black residents. Despite the devastation, the community showed remarkable resilience, beginning the rebuilding process immediately, and Greenwood continues to stand today as a symbol of economic empowerment and resilience.
This is a story of strength and community, entrepreneurship, creativity, legacy, and the power of the Black dollar. Our essay finalists have captured these ideas in their work they'll be presenting to you this evening. This year's prompt reads, think back to a time in your life when you created something meaningful, only to face the heartbreak of losing it or seeing it damaged. Reflect on how you responded, rebuilt, or grew from this experience. Describe how these challenges you face shape your understanding of resilience and contributed to your sense of legacy. With these reflections in mind, consider the legacy of Black Wall Street, an inspiring story of a vibrant community built on pride, economic empowerment, and cultural resilience. What does this legacy mean to you, and how do your own dreams and goals carry forward its values? Share how your pursuits can contribute to uplifting and empowering our community, just as Black Wall Street once did.
Out of the many applicants from 3 different campuses, 3 students have been awarded the title of essay finalist this year. In the coming moments, each finalist will have the opportunity to share their submissions. Tonight, the judges will select the winner based on their oral delivery of their written piece. The contestants will be judged on content, clarity, creativity, and delivery.
Before we get into the competitions, I would like to first take this time to introduce our wonderful judges. When I call your name, please stand. It is my honor to introduce Kevon Henry, a proud, Kevon Henry is a proud Bronx native committed to fostering Black excellence, economic empowerment, and community development, values rooted in the legacy of Black Wall Street. From her time at the University of Rochester, Kevon served as president of the Black Students Union, co-captained the Indulgence Dance Team, and helped establish the Exclusive Step Team. She also became a member of the Pi Beta chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, embodying a lifelong commitment to scholarship, sisterhood, service, and social action. With 2 degrees and nearly 2 decades of experience, Kevon now leads KH&PH Consulting, a firm focused on empowering small businesses and grassroots organizations. Through coaching, workshops, and mentorship, she equips community leaders with the tools to navigate systemic barriers and achieve sustainable success. Please join me in welcoming Kevon Henry. Up next, we have Aquil Jones.
Aquil Jones, a Buffalo native entrepreneur with a degree in media communications from Buffalo State College, started his journey at 13, creating music videos for artists like Benny the Butcher and Little Bibby under the brand Legacy Visions. His ventures expanded to event promotion with Lavish Nights and co-founding King City Jewelry in 2013. In 2016, he launched Lavish Clothing Company, a luxury streetwear brand worn by celebrities like Kerry Wilson, Reginae Carter, Westside Gunn, and Buffalo Mayor Chris Scanlon. As a proud member of the Phi chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, Aquil uses his success to mentor youth through programs like Kappa League, empowering the next generation. Let's please give a round of applause for Aquil Jones. Up next, we have Ebony Miller.
It is my pleasure to introduce Ebony Miller, a passionate leader with over a decade of experience in higher education and organizational leadership. As the director of the Center of Urgent Entrepreneurship at RIT, she empowers underserved entrepreneurs through mentorship, resources, and financial literacy. Ebony also teaches at Monroe Community College and holds an MBA from RIT and a master's in informatics from the University at Buffalo. Recognized with awards like the Rochester Business Journal's 40 Under 40, Ebony is dedicated to creating equitable entrepreneurial ecosystems. Please join me in welcoming Ebony Miller. Last but not least, we have Mohammed Keita.
Mohammed Keita, a Maryland-born, Malian-bred engineer, leader, and entrepreneur, is dedicated to driving innovation and empowering his community. He earned a Bachelor's of Science in Mechanical Engineering and a Master's in Technical Management from the University of Rochester. As an executive board member of the National Society of Black Engineers, he helped lead the chapter to a historic achievement, bringing the largest number of students to the NSBE Convention, where many secured top internships and jobs. Currently, a systems engineer at the Naval Sea Systems Command, Mohammed contributes to advancing nuclear submarine technology. In addition, he founded Manta Wealth, a digital platform focused on financial literacy and online business strategies, reaching over 8 million people and 150,000 interactions per month. He is also a proud member of the Epsilon chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Please join me in welcoming Mohammed Keita. Excuse me. You can read more about our judges in the ad books that will be located at the tables in the ballroom. Let's give a round of applause for all of this year's judges.
Okay, Daniel, I think they're ready to hear the finalists. What do you think?
Yes, we are.
I think it's about that time, yeah.
Our first essay finalist is Talia Favorite. A first-generation college student from Brooklyn, New York with Guyanese heritage, she is currently pursuing a double major in international relations and public health at the University of Rochester, where she also serves as BSU's freshman representative.
Yeah.
Beyond campus, Talia is the treasurer for the NAACP Brooklyn Youth Council, managing budgets and securing resources for programming. As a former community engager for the Kings Against Violence Initiative, KAVI, she advocates for those impacted by violence through a public health lens. Her dedication has earned her the 2023 Daisy M. Shavers Award from the NCNW Brooklyn section and the 2024 Jesse and Wendy's Neighbor to My Neighbor Educational Advancement Scholarship. Please join me in welcoming Talia Favorite to the stage.
Let me paint the picture for you. Bed-Stuy is my home. Growing up, it was my safe space, a fortress of love, resilience, and wisdom. There wasn't a big bad wolf in sight that could blow my house down. We had a solid foundation, built brick by brick by our ancestors who poured their hearts into ensuring we stood strong, just like they did in Greenwood, Tulsa, Black Wall Street. Our walls symbolized more than just structure. They were a testament to the unwavering support between our neighbors, our families, and our friends. Oh, and our windows? Those were our pride. Crystal clear and wide open, they gave us perspective. We could see out into other neighborhoods, learning from them, while allowing others to glimpse our beauty without letting them take it from us. That was Bed-Stuy. Not just a neighborhood, but a home, whole and complete. But then came the call on a random Saturday, which shattered everything. June 19th, 2023 is a day that haunts me forever. 16-year-old boy shot is what I heard. It forced me to look up. I mean, really look up. At the ceiling of security I had always trusted, only to realize there were cracks. Cracks so deep, I wondered how I never noticed them before. So when it rained, it poured. And that's when I realized I had been living in a bubble. A beautiful bubble, yes, but a fragile one. And like all fragile things, it didn't stand a chance when the storm hit. And when the storm hits, survival isn't something you take for granted. 10, Talia, what's wrong? 9, Talia, you're scaring me. 8, Talia, breathe. 7, guys, I need to go to the hospital. 6, help, is she having a seizure? 5, Talia, can you hear me? It's EMT. 4, guys, we gotta go. Heart rate's 177. 3, I need an EKG stat. She's acidotic, tachycardic. I'm getting abnormal kidney readings. I can't find a vein. 2, Talia, how are you feeling? 1, was that a dream? Since I became aware of death at a young age, I knew I didn't want to meet it. But in a place where funerals outnumber graduations, where 18 is a blessing and 21 is a miracle, death is an uninvited guest who never leaves. My young, fragile mind wrestled with the shadows, asking questions too big for my ears. What happens to me when I die? Will I be forgotten? Do I go to heaven or hell, or do I go to spiritual limbo? Bodies around me dropped fast, like the M train pulling into the station. My life was a series of highs, hellos, but never proper goodbyes. I learned to grieve before I learned to dream. You know, grief is a strange thing. It wraps itself around your heart, weighs heavy on your chest, and swallows your ability to hope for something better. So when Google no longer provided me with answers on why people in my community kept dying, and when I didn't know how to deal with it, I turned to maladaptive coping mechanisms. I didn't realize the pain I was trying to numb would soon force me to confront my reality in the most unexpected way. Being in the hospital, clinging to life, my self-awareness heightened. As my pupils dilated and the doctors asked me a million questions before boring my skin with a needle as sharp as my need to live, I realized how much I had been counting down. Count down the days until the next tragedy. Count down the hours until another mother's cries echo through the block. Count down the seconds. But in that moment, I realized I had the strength in me to turn my life around. My journey instilled a profound sense of purpose and a commitment to serve in communities like mine. It was this journey of releasing the survivor's guilt I felt when those around me wrongfully passed away that led me to the realization that their deaths were not blood on my hands. Instead, they served as a bigger reason to want to further my education, take a holistic approach to enhance quality of life, to promote social, economic, and political equity in underrepresented and overlooked communities. Oddly enough, the storm didn't shake me. It woke me up. I acknowledged the damage, inspected the cracks, and made a promise to rebuild, restore, and make sure no one else feels the rain before they realize their roof has cracks in it. And so, I build. I build through education, through advocacy, through creating spaces where young Black kids can dream without fear. Since Bed-Stuy is my home, I will be one of the hands laying the bricks for the next generation, just as my ancestors did when they built Black Wall Street, with the intentions of not to build for themselves, but for the future. Just like the storm that shook my home, their foundation was tested, bombed, buried, and beneath oppression. Yet, the legacy did not die. It lives on in the flames of every Black neighborhood, determined to rise again. Now, it's my turn to be the hands that rebuild and ensure that when our children look up, they don't see holes in the ceiling, but instead, a sky of possibilities. Now, instead of counting down, I count up to greatness, up to reimagining life as a Black teenager in central Brooklyn, up to a longer and eventful life for my community. So, let the storm come. Let them try to shake our walls. Because if Bed-Stuy is my home, then I will be one of the hands laying the foundation for the next generation. Thank you.
You know, as a Bronx native myself, you know, Big BX, you know, I gotta give my props. That essay was beautiful and the delivery was top tier. Next up, we have Matthew Harden. Go ahead. A DMV native, specifically Prince George's County, Maryland, he is currently a sophomore at the University of Rochester, studying data science with plans to graduate in 2027. Matthew was admitted to Rochester through the prestigious Posse Scholarship, becoming part of the 10th cohort. On campus, he plays club baseball, serves as a business manager for the RoundNet e-board, and actively participates in cultural clubs. Outside of campus life, he's building an app for college students in the Rochester area to find local events with plans to expand it nationwide. In 2023, Matthew developed a mobile interactive game for high school students through Cappuccino Games. This summer, he mentored middle school students entering high school as part of the Breakthrough Miami program. Please join me in welcoming Matthew Harden to the stage.
All right, cool. Let's talk about love. Not the kind that's paraded like a trophy for the world to admire or chained to the illusions of perfection. I mean the raw love. The love that thunders in your chest like a storm, refusing to let you collapse even when the world drives its fist into your ribs. The love that stitches whole communities back together, even when its own stitches are bleeding. I learned this love at 13, in a middle school science fair. My friend and I, just two black kids from Prince George's County, Maryland, built a project on global warming. I'm talking 3 months of late nights, glue sticks, and his mother's sweet tea. We won first place in our category, but 5th overall. 5th. 5th feels like emptiness when you're hungry. But we gotta think, what does emptiness teach us? It teaches us that love makes us vulnerable. When you pour yourself into something, when you really care about it, when you let it affect you, you risk cracks. And when the judges have ranked mine 5th, I felt the fractures. Now, Mr. Mills, the toughest damn teacher in our French immersion middle school, he had held our scripture and he had held our binder in class as if it was scripture and said, "Vous avez créé quelque chose de réel ici," meaning, y'all made something real here. And that's when I finally understood. Love isn't a trophy. It's about having the courage to give, even when you know it might fall apart. Now, I know what you're thinking. The science fair, that's your big story. That's what you came to the Crème with. But love doesn't need grand stages to have its best work be done. It thrives in the quiet corners, in the way my friend's mother put extra sugar in our tea when we got discouraged. Love is the mortar between the bricks of ordinary labor. And mortar cracks. It always does. But that's how light gets in, through the vulnerabilities we dare to leave unguarded. Now consider Black Wall Street. They built a city within a city in Tulsa. I'm talking banks, theaters, newspapers. But let me be clear. Greenwood wasn't formed by magic. It was built by thousands of small, stubborn acts of love. A black shoemaker charging fair prices. A black baker teaching their neighbor's child how to knead dough. A black librarian staying late so that kids could see themselves in books. This was love through vulnerability. Choosing to share, teach, to lift each other up in a world that profits from our isolation. Their love wasn't a feeling. It was a currency. Traded in every handshake, every loan, and every lesson. They loved like a forest loves, roots tangled underground, sharing nutrients. So when fire comes, and fire always comes, the seeds survive. And then 1921 happened. White mobs thrashed the town, burned 35 blocks to ash, murdered hundreds. But you know what they didn't burn? The blueprint. Because love, real love, outlives flames. Survivors rebuilt tents in the smoke, fed orphans, dug graves with blistered hands. They understood what I learned at 13. You don't love a thing because it lasts. You love it by lasting, by rebuilding, even when the world mocks your 5th place hustle. And here's another secret they don't teach you. Love is a discipline. It's waking up early to make your family breakfast, walking your partner the whole way home to ensure they survive the night. When we shrink love to a feeling, we betray it. But when we treat it as a practice, something we do, not just something we have, it becomes unbreakable. So what's my dream? I want to build like them. Not just businesses, but ecosystems. I want to create spaces where our youth don't have to beg for seats at broken tables. They forge their own. Where our science fair projects aren't graded by men in suits who have never stood in our dress shoes. Blueprints aren't enough. You need glue. And the glue is love. The kind that sticks to your fingers long after the judges have left the room. They burned Greenwood. And they'll burn us too, with redline neighborhoods, underfunded schools, and prisons bloated with our kin. They'll set the world ablaze. It's inevitable. So I say, let the flames grow hotter. We'll love like those who came before us, not in spite of the fire, but because of it. Because love is the one fuel that no one can extinguish but you. Don't misunderstand me now. This isn't about optimism. Optimism is passive. Love is labor. It's the tremor in your grandmother's voice when she tells you to keep going, even though her own dreams had been deferred. It rose because they struggled for better, not because they hoped for better. Because they knew love, not as a noun, but as a verb. So if you ask me about legacy, I'll show you my hands. I don't have any calluses yet, but I'm working on them. Legacy isn't a monument. It's you and me choosing every day to build like lovers instead of like beggars. Black Wall Street's fire didn't end in 1921. It's still burning. In classrooms where children lack resources. In boardrooms where ideas are stolen and then praised. But listen, the same fire that melts wax hardens steel. And we're steel. We're seeds. We're the love that outlives the burn. So let them grade us fifth. We'll be too busy building something bigger. Thank you.
These guys have worked hard preparing these essays, and I admired their willingness to share their stories on a platform like this. Last but not least, we have one more essay finalist, Chelsea Thompson. Chelsea Thompson, also known as Shay, grew up in Mount Vernon, New York before her family moved to North Carolina. Since then, she lived in various states for co-op experiences, learning how to adapt to change and develop strong interpersonal skills. A fifth-year student at RIT, Shay is enrolled in the MSBS program for Environmental Sustainability and Occupational Health and Safety. With roots in St. Vincent, where much of her family is involved in environmental work, she's passionate about making a positive impact on both people and the planet. Shay's ultimate goal is to protect undervalued communities and creatures while enjoying life's journey. Please welcome Chelsea Thompson.
Oklahoma, 1921, was the year our brothers and sisters rejoiced in the pride of their hard-earned prosperity and excellence. It was also the year it was washed away in a flood of indignant malevolence. Hunted like deer, we have been told time after time that our right to belong is not our right at all, but instead an unattainable reward for our conformance to double standards. The Tulsa Massacre was an attempt to erase the whiteboard of our identity. Oklahoma, 1921, is when our people, like deer, lived in harmony with linked hands. Thriving in an oasis on just 40 acres of land, our herd radiated true prosperity, true excellence, true community, inherent worth, creating worth. Since then, the tides have turned. Black excellence is not a given, it's earned. We are immigrants to the workplace, an invasive species that must slither in this rat race for any positions of recognition. Perfection became the prerequisite for our herd's survival in a habitat not built for us. Don't talk like that. Don't play that music. Cut those locks, look professional. Here's your ticket, don't lose it. This prove it or lose it philosophy became the harsh reality of our world. All the herd understood. The forest is dangerous. The forest is cruel. The forest will get you if you move like a fool. There are predators, of course, and they're sure to strike. There is only room for the few that they like. Forget the justice you yearn. The forest is a privilege you must earn. The black girl in my mirror internalized these sentiments from the moment she turned 6. A descendant of the herd, she too was a deer. A youthful fawn, filled with fear. Born in the dark, she was destined as prey. She resented the forest from that very day. But she was ambitious, and it was time for her to venture off so she could be someone someday. So the fawn saw a meadow, in it were some deer. They all turned to fawn over the fawn spotted here. Look at your tail, look at your heels. The fawn blushed and learned that appearance appeals. So she straightened her tail, adding jewels alike, changing traits that others disliked. She wore lashes and pranced and sang and danced. Even the predators were in awe at first glance. This image seemed to be keeping her alive. But the forest is still dangerous. This I know. I cannot approach the meadows any time before dawn. Sundown is bad news for me, the fawn. Sundown claimed the lives of my people with its claws. Sundown threatened beatings and iron prison bars. Sundown deemed you ugly and dark and ashamed. Sundown said your only path to success is fame. The fawn rejected this life and rejected her flaws, as now she had her own set of claws, shouting, I am glamorous. I'll be so great not even the predators can hang with us. I got my master's, a 3.6 GPA, and a full-time job after. I'll be so smart, I'll be successful. Living so lavish, I won't know the word stressful. I must be better. I must be great. I must do whatever to outshine the hate. The fawn built up an image to break the glass ceiling, but she choked on her ribbons and was bruised by the jewels. Sometimes she wanted to just act the fool, for she was a fawn, but she couldn't be. She needed to focus so she could be free. But the fawn's reflection in the river came with great alarm. The fawn could not see the same fawn that can charm. The fawn saw an imposter, strangled by ambition, suffocating under an aimless mission. Where are the bows? Instead, I see strings, frail, slim threads of all things. Where are the hooves? Where are the lashes? Instead, all I see is my image's ashes. This image, so meaningful to me, it's gone, but perhaps it's not meant to be. Perhaps all along I've lost myself, and now it's time to truly be free. I am a deer, but I still think like a fawn. I walk through life like I don't hold the baton. In my mind, I am a fawn, but I'll soon be a deer. Soon I will tread the forest without fear. Soon I will see myself in the surface of the lake, and I can make my own decisions about the paths I can take, about who I'm allowed to be, about what I'm allowed to see when reflecting on the image of me. It might be true, it might really be that indeed the force was also made for me. By believing for myself that I belong, I reclaim what's been mine all along, my identity as a divine being, regardless of all those who come disagreeing. I am a human, not a work machine, or a DEI hire, or a percentage not meant to be heard, but seen. I am a human, not a violent threat, or the butt of every theft joke on the internet. Yes, I have ambitions, but they are not me. Instead, my dream is to just simply be. I will belong, regardless. I will live in a world made for me, regardless. Continuing in their legacy, I owe it to me. I owe it to my mom. I owe it to the little spotted fawn. And I owe it to them who could not run, lying limp on the street in Oklahoma, 1921. In doing this and believing this, I hope my influence true, that by seeing me, you'll feel the same for you. Thank you.
Wow, that was amazing. Let's give them all another round of applause for these amazing essays.
Moving right along, we know you've all been waiting, so we're gonna start with our version of Shark Tank, Crimson Take, for the very first time. Each finalist will share a pitch deck followed by a brief Q&A. Let's give a round of applause for our first Crimson Take finalist, Kaya Foreman, presenting ISB Waxing Services.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. So, I'm the owner of ISB Waxing Services. ISB stands for I Stay Busy, and it is a music and lifestyle brand created by my father, Donald Elvis Foreman. He's a rapper, a producer, a songwriter, and an engineer. And that's really why he created ISB, because we do nothing but stay busy. ISB is a family brand that consists of multiple businesses that includes ISB Waxing Services, by me, of course, ISB Family Travel by my mom, Evelyn Foreman, and ISB Home Solutions by Tyrone Beeks. He's a licensed contractor, and he does home improvements and building and repair. I found my passion for waxing during COVID. I tried many different things, such as nails, hair. However, waxing stood out to me the most. Coming to college inspired me to take waxing to the next level and start my business because there were no waxing services provided on campus. ISB Waxing is a self-care brand that is committed to empowering clients to look and feel their best by providing a comfortable and welcoming environment that enhances confidence and promotes self-care. A few goals that I have for my business is loyal customers. I will offer a loyalty program with discounts and free services after a certain amount of visits, enhance client experiences by redecorating my workspace and adding snacks and beverages to make it comfortable, and expanding my services, taking advanced courses to be certified, makeup potentially, and catering to a diverse clientele. Many people struggle with unwanted hair removal, but traditional methods like shaving can be frustrating. Shaving leads to razor bumps, irritation, itchiness, hair growing back quickly, and making it uncomfortable and time-consuming. ISB Waxing Services provides a long-lasting, hassle-free solution. My professional waxing services help clients achieve smooth skin, reduce irritation, and boost confidence in a welcoming and judgment-free environment. ISB Waxing Services caters to anyone looking for reliable and professional hair removal. Women and men who want smooth, long-lasting results, and college students and other young entrepreneurs seeking affordable services. I provide affordable prices and offer discounts and deals for special occasions to make high-quality waxing services accessible. I plan to make self-care kits and hand them out to the women in my community for free, and they will include skincare essentials, educational materials such as post and pre-waxing tips, and uplifting messages to encourage women. To achieve ISB Waxing Services goals and expand my impact, I will strategically use the funds to enhance my service by funding for esthetician school so I could become licensed, becoming a LLC, owning my business, and stocking up on supplies like waxing beads, disposable tools to maintain hygiene, and products to make exfoliating scrubs for my clients, and to upgrade my work equipment like a new waxing pot, more stuff that would advance my business. Thank you so much. Any questions? Yes.
Good job.
Thank you.
Hold on a second. Yeah. First off, good job, Kaya. You mentioned what you would do with the funding if you were to indeed be the top prize winner for tonight, right? Mm-hmm. So with that being said, one of the things that you said that you would do with the funding is to pursue your license, to become licensed to provide these waxes. So with that being said, if you've already been doing these services or providing these services, how are you protecting yourself from litigation if you're not licensed?
I am certified, so I have taken plenty of courses to become certified. So I have a certification, and I keep my space clean so that if state does to come in and do inspection, I will be okay.
So are you currently working with or under someone else?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Kaya.
Hi.
Love your presentation.
Thank you.
Question. If I was a potential consumer, what would make me choose ISB Waxing Service as opposed to the next waxing service up the street or online or another market?
Potentially in the Brockport area, because I go to SUNY Brockport. There's nothing out there. So I'm the only waxing service that's in that area, and I am the best. I feel like my personality.
So there's a lack of that service in your area?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Got to limit to 2 questions because of time, but.
That's it.
All right, ladies and or gentlemen, make sure you tap in with Kaya for all your waxing needs. Actually, if you can pull out your phones real quick, follow her business page. Oh, yeah, she got a business card, so she ready. Let me know when y'all ready. All right. So it's ISB _ waxing services. I'm gonna say it again. ISB _ waxing services.
All right, Daniel, who's up next?
Up next, we have Jaden Aday presenting Young Crafters. Let's give him a round of applause.
All right, Jaden.
How's everybody doing today? I need more energy. How y'all doing today? First of all, I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming out today. And I just want to say that this is my first time doing a pitch, so excuse me if I get a little nervous. So my name is Yyonne today, and I'm the CEO and founder of Yyonne Crafters. So let's get started. I want to tell y'all a story first. One of my favorite all-time movies is The Pursuit of Happiness. Raise your hand if you ever heard that movie. So y'all know what I'm about to say. My favorite quote in that movie is Will Smith saying, hey, don't ever let somebody tell you can't do something, not even me. People tell you can't do something because they can't do it themselves. That quote stuck with me growing up. I want y'all to take a look at this photo here. This is young, little me in the 4th grade doing a science fair project. As you can see in this photo, I was very curious, ambitious, and most of all, passionate. There was other kids like me during that time. I remember at some point I wanted to be an astronaut. Raise your hand if you had dreams like that. What did you want to be? Yeah.
I wanted to be a fashion designer.
You want to be a fashion designer? See, we had big dreams when we was kids. Unfortunately, due to the environment I grew up in, due to the factors of my environment, I found that I didn't know who to talk to, I didn't know where to start, and the painful part is being told no and letting my dreams die. Fast forward a couple years later, I'm now senior, about to graduate with a full-time offer, and it's thanks to one word, mentorship. Now, I want y'all to notice something, how I just said me. There's kids out there just like me, with the same passion and same drive, but they never lived up to their full potential. You know why? Lack of resources, environmental factors, and that hurts my heart. Raise your hand if you ever know somebody who has mad potential but never made it, or who just needs somebody to give them a push. Almost everybody in here. And that's a problem I want to solve. So let me tell y'all my solution. Before we get into the solution, I want to tell y'all a couple of stats here. So according to a 2023 study by Mentor, mentorship in low-income communities, this study was done in low-income communities, has dropped 6% from 2013. That is a large number. Now, in that same study, 2/3 of those people wish they had mentorship, but they never had access to it. Now, pay attention to this stat here. 34% of people within those communities who have had success has had a mentor. That number is too low. It's too low. It's a problem. And so let me tell y'all about my solution. What my solution is a mentorship platform. Essentially, what we want to do is we match mentors and mentees using AI, and we allow them to have genuine connections, whether it's similar passions, goals, or mindset-wise. It doesn't matter. But the point is to have somebody there for you. Now, you might say, there's tons of mentorship programs out there, man. Like, what's the value in your app? Like, there's tons of things out there. Well, the thing is, we're not trying to compete against you guys. We're trying to help you guys, whether if you have a mentorship program or if you're trying to start one. You could integrate your current mentorship program onto this platform and run it from there. From there, you're able to manage your program. You're able to have stats in terms of improving your program overall. And I know that sometimes we need money. We need to track our data. We need to improve our programs. This is what my platform gives to you guys. And from there on, you can recruit mentors and mentees from there. It's vice versa if you're looking to create a program. All you have to do is sign up on our platform. I want to point out that this is something I'm very passionate about. This is something where it's much bigger than me, it's much bigger than y'all in this room. This is something that could change somebody's life. So whether I win or not, I want y'all and I encourage y'all to get involved into something like this. Here's some of the features of how our app works. Our app allows you to chat, meet, and schedule meetings with a mentor or mentee. You are able to connect things such as your Google Calendar, in which you are able to match up with your schedule and meet with your mentors or mentees. You could also set goals with your mentor or mentees to help stay on track within your program. Something I'm very also proud of is our badge system. Our badge system is a gamification in which you are able to rank up from a bronze medal into a gold medal. And what that means is based off the badges, you get certificates. And this allows you to have some sort of credibility that you're doing something. And you could show your community that, hey, I'm doing mentorship. You could post this on your LinkedIn, as well as it encourages you to keep the relationship going. And that's the goal of what we want to have. We also have something called our mentor quote of the day. And from the mentor, and they can add quotes for the mentee to analyze and to improve themselves throughout the day. Now you might ask, how do we make money from this? We are a business to consumer and business to business. So for those who are new to business, for the business to consumer side, the app is genuinely free for anybody who's just looking for a general mentorship or looking to mentor somebody individually. This is free for the average user. But here's how we make money. For our business to business side, this is for our existing mentorship programs, or if you're looking to create one. And we charge subscription models based on the size of your program. So if you're looking to scale your program, you're gonna have to pay more based on this business. Currently, this is something that I've started since last summer, and we made tons of progress. We're looking to release our beta at the end of March, and we have a couple people already signed up. We're looking to onboard these sign-ups so that we could test and get feedback and improve. So the thing is, we're also looking to partner with community organizations. So if you know somebody who's interested in this, feel free to talk to me after. We're looking into programs such as the Boys and Girls Club of Rochester, as well as your career centers at your universities. This app is for everybody, and with the goal of launching in 2025. So with the use of funds, I plan on using the majority of funds towards the development of this app, because building the app is not cheap, and this is the toughest thing I've learned, given my background. So when you're building an app, you need tons of technical features you need to pay monthly, and that's where the majority is gonna go to. Also with the fact that we also need to intensifize our partnerships, and that's the goal. So from there, we're gonna use the rest towards marketing and miscellaneous stuff such as operations. And so let me show y'all a quick demo about how this app works. So you will sign up. And the beautiful thing about this is that our answers are open-ended. We would hope that AI would match you up using your words. So you onboard. And from there on, is open-ended. So you would answer questions such as this, and then from there on, based on what the mentor puts in and based on what the mentee puts in, our AI matches that up. And from there, you could choose if you want to deny or if you want to accept that mentor, and that's your mentor or mentee from there on. See, congratulations. And so this is how our dashboard looks like. We have our calendar, which pops up where you could connect your Google Calendar here. We have our badge system. We have our goal setting features and our chat. Also too, with our mentor quote of the day, which you can add music. This is the profile section. And yeah, that's about it. Our settings section. So currently right now, this is the team we're using to build this business. We're small but mighty, and we have a plethora of experience in terms of technical and business knowledge. Currently, our advisor, Roberto, is under the Simon School of Business. And fun fact, he was part of the C-suite for Bosch & Lomb, so he's definitely gonna help us scale our company up there, get it up there. And so I'll leave y'all with this. Our motto is empower potential one chance at a time. So take a chance on us. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. You just blew my mind. I'm impressed. If I was an investor, you might have had my money, but not today. I do have a question, though, because you're right. There are a lot of mentorship programs that currently exist, but the reason they're struggling is that they can't sustain mentors. So how are you going to be any different from what's already out there in terms of recruiting mentors sustaining them, training them, right? Making sure that they have what they need to do the job. That's my first question. And my second question is, how are you going to control for minors and all that comes with working with people under 18?
Yeah, that's a good question. So in terms of sustaining the mentors and getting them onto the app, what we're trying to do is incentivize them, which is through certificates itself. We hope that the mentors, they're genuine enough to want to use our app. We want, like we said, we want genuine one-on-one connections, people who actually want to give back, not people who's looking to do something for a temporary time, and that's what we hope to use through our app. The thing is, from the people who want to use our app to have their own mentorship program on there, we're just essentially providing the structure. We're not essentially helping them, like, keep the mentors. It's up to them. But we're providing them the structure in order to run a stable, structured mentorship program. That's the goal. And for your second question, could you repeat that, please?
How are you controlling for minors?
Okay, that's a good question. So with that standpoint, we have a legal people we was talking to, and there's from the legal aspect, there's a contract that mentors are gonna have to sign before they mentor somebody. Because one thing, I have worked in the education system before, you have to go through a series of like getting verification and stuff like that. So we was thinking about using a third party to verify the mentors.
Jaden, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
I think you might have lied when you got up there. You said it was your first time giving the pitch. You crushed it, man.
Thank you.
Just to piggyback off of what Kavon said, in your presentation, you answered a lot of questions that I had. Like, that was great, but still the unique value proposition. What do you see as your moat for this business? I like that you mentioned that you've done a little bit of the research and you saw that there's some other sites and apps out there that do similar things, but what makes you different?
So essentially, I've thought about that a lot, and we do have competitors. The thing is, the difference between us and them is that we're using AI. We're trying to get on the wave of AI. So that's how we're using it. That's how we're using it currently to improve, like, and make it more competitive. But also too, with the fact that we are targeting schools, small programs. Our competitors are targeting more of a corporate side of things. So that's kind of our competitive advantage there. And there's an untapped market in which we're looking into. Because one thing our advisor, Roberto, had told us about is how come this isn't in schools? How come this isn't in your career center? There's many uses for this. It doesn't just have to be mentorship, but that's what I'm focused on. That's things people have pointed out while looking at our app. Oh, like I have a small program of people that currently I'm talking to, and it might be good to have a platform to chat with them from there. Essentially, it's a thing where this will be useful for offices like that, and that's kind of where we're targeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaden. Y'all make sure you stay tuned for July 2025. Okay, join me in welcoming our third Crimson Tank finalist, Steven Simmons, presenting Touch Grass.
Can y'all hear me all right? Wonderful. I want to talk about nerds, geeks, squares, Poindexters. These are terms that are often used to describe those of a more academic or intellectually heightened person. And it's not used in a loving way. Recently, we've seen a shift in the culture, and people are beginning to take these terms on for a new meaning. To now talk about those who unabashedly have a passion for the hobbies that they involve themselves in and the things that they love. They wear them on their sleeves. I myself subscribe to this notion, and I'm proud to be a blerd, a black nerd for those who aren't in the know. But I've heard the term touch grass, a phrase often used to mean to go outside, to get out of reading all these books and playing all these games and all that stuff. People want to put down what they don't understand. I want to turn that on its head. flip it upside down and use it to not be something that separates people, but to use it as a call to action. Create community in a place where oftentimes we see people are isolated and alone. My name is Stephen Simmons, and I want to share a little bit about how I think the power of promoting these nerd-based businesses and forming these fun-themed parties can change not only the nightlife of Rochester, but to revitalize and bring back the community that I love. So, the problem. 3 things I've heard growing up here, and then they've only gotten worse while being in college, are that there's nothing to do here in Rochester, that people can't find friends who share their hobbies, and that they always hear about these fun things. People will see my stories, people see me post about stuff, but it's always after they would have wanted to buy tickets or gone through. Fear of missing out doesn't seem to be a problem here in Rochester. Honestly, it seems that there's a lack of motivation to find stuff. The fact that there are so many people who talk down on my hometown without ever stepping foot outside of Henrietta really began to grind my gears. I got to a point where I couldn't let it get past me. Instead, I decided to let it kick me into a new one, providing this advice: tap in, look in, lock in. These 3 calls to action put the ball in their court, shifting the, burden of proof onto other people to go out and show me there really is nothing to do in this place that I love. Because if you truly do talk to people, go out and find out about what there is in this place and actively go out into the city to search for what you're looking for, I guarantee you'll fall in love, as I have over and over again. And it's this love for the city that I have that I think will help us touch on an even greater problem. Here in America, we're currently facing a mental crisis known as the epidemic of loneliness. As you can see, social isolation is at an all-time high. Household family engagement, companionship, and general social engagement of many different kinds are all reaching cataclysmic lows. To combat this, I think I have a really unique approach, and that is to address this isolation by calling upon one of the biggest things that I know works well, and it's a shared love and joy when it comes to what we experience. Since the summertime, I've been engaging with a number of people on my skeleton crew of like 5 folks from the beginning to host these weekly watch parties downtown, on top of promoting a number of notable nerdy businesses and their activities. I even got to help a friend of mine get his tournament record attendance up to a record of 55 persons through a joint promotion. This proves that not only is there a genuine desire within the community, but there's a desire for community. Those who assign the label nerd to themselves often can be either sporadically extroverted or stoically introverted. Because of that, people tend to think that they either never go outside or that they're always doing something. When the truth lies somewhere in the middle. And honestly, it's important to know that social support is paramount for all folks. Whether you find yourself on one end or the other of the spectrum, it's important to have people around you to uplift you and to remind you that you matter. That there are people who care about you, and that there are people who love the things that you are because you just are yourself. I seek to create more spaces where people can be free to be themselves and can indulge in the things that they love without fear of being ostracized or separated from other people. This all started because I had a friend who was a lot more introverted than I am, but he realized that because of our shared love of anime and video games, we could do something creative. He started a podcast, and while no episodes have been released because of various different life struggles, it was a lot of fun to do, and it led us to create an event. Every week we would host watch parties together, and we would watch things and talk about the shows that we'd enjoy, or we'd put together a vast slideshow of fight scenes and go over what makes these scenes so exhilarating and why we love them so much. After moving to another location, I was then offered a job to work at Great Lakes Gaming full-time. And be the community ambassador for the anime community here in Rochester, which led me to link up with the folks at the 585 Fighters, who are our resident fighting game folks here in Rochester. And now we host larger scale events every month. Touchgrass would be the culmination of these things, and it would push it even further to be its fullest version of itself. Because before, I was mostly doing it alone. But now, I've got a team. My boy, Zach Eggebrecht, nicknamed Eggman, is the lead designer and is the reason that our flyers are so fly. Outside of that, I'm in charge of hosting events. If you see a man with a mic, it's probably gonna be me. I also write a ton of blurbs and blog posts, and I've been creating more content to get the word out there about the number of various businesses that we have here in Rochester to encourage people to check out what we have. On my, I double-clicked, I'm so sorry. On my advisory board, you see a litany of faces. There are people who host all kinds of different events and have a number of businesses. Ben Garvey owns Great Lakes Gaming. That's currently who I work for, and is also the venue that I host my events at. Dan Antonio runs the 585 Fighters. They host and help co-host a number of local fighting game tournaments. My boy DJ C. Mells hosts a litany of parties, both soca, Caribbean-based, and is also getting into the nerd party realm. He has a cosplay-based event coming up this summer that I'm really excited about. Edmund Poole runs Tough Nerds, which is a skate shop based in nerdy and local apparel and streetwear. My boy Rob Matthews is a private chef who's been wanting to curate a private menu based off the shows that he loves. And when he heard about what I do downtown, he told me that he sees potential for me to do it by myself. So I brought him on to this project. Speaking about our projects, with the funding that I can gain from this here today, I want to be able to take the first steps in acquiring my LLC, as well as buying a domain to fully legitimize my business and become something more tangible, something more real. Convert this from a dream into a reality. Gotcha. I'm already in the works with my boss, Mr. Garvey, to acquire a list of local businesses to host a networking event so that I can build a list of clientele that I will actively be working with. I want to do more outreach, which is why I'm really glad that you guys brought me up here today, because I know that we both have a great love for community and support. I want to scale up and use the funds to provide myself with much more supplies so that I can host these events and not be going broke myself. Honestly, I just want to bring back a sense of fun to Rochester. Everyone thinks it's such a scary place, but I've never seen it that way. So thank you for your time, and please feel free to check out my next event.
Okay, I'm gonna open the floor to just one question. If anybody has a question.
Not to be funny, right? But you're talking about targeting a very introverted, right? That's with assumption, market of folks. So where are the blurs?
A lot of them often find themselves at schools or in community events. They also find them a lot online. Social media is one of the main places that they gather, and through the number of Facebook groups and various group chats and Discords that I've become a part of, I found out that there's a huge community both here in Buffalo as well as in Syracuse of untapped potential. And one of the things that inspired me the most was Buffalo Blurred parties, where they're hosting a lot of these, there's a 90s party that's happening sometime in a couple weeks, and I saw the potential in that. And I decided, if these folks could get off social media, which is something that we know is inherently damaging due to overuse, and would get out and meet more people and build up that social support that I was talking about earlier, we could really combat this isolationism that we're falling into. So that's what I'm really passionate about. Doing all right, how you doing?
Just one question.
Yeah.
So your entire business plan is to pretty much target a small group of people.
Mm-hmm.
But the statistics that you've shown reflects a larger group of people.
Indeed.
So I guess my question would be, how is this going to impact that larger group of people opposed to the niche of people that you seem to be targeting?
Scalability. I'm starting with this niche because they are the people that I am the most close to, and they are the people that I know the best. But I also know that once you start building a network of people, more folks are going to want to come. One of the things that I know this works with was the Black Artists and Record Society that I helped run at RIT. We were all about specifically black students who wanted to make music. But then we started getting more folks who produce, people who DJ. They wanted to come check us out because we had a space for them to be creative and to talk about music and to have fun. The things that we start for ourselves are important because they have the power to inspire others to want to come together and to come check us out and to then spread off and do their own thing.
All right. Thank you, Stephen, and make sure you guys stay tuned for these upcoming projects. Last but not least, we have Jay Sissette presenting Camp Nav.
Okay. Excuse my anxiety and cold feet as I present my performance here. First, good evening, everyone. I hope we're all enjoying the Crimson and Cream Ball tonight. First, I would like to thank Kappa Alpha Psi and Delta Sigma Theta for the beautiful event and opportunity. A round of applause, please. With a show of hands, how many of you have been late to lecture because you couldn't find your classroom on time? I know I have, and I'm almost a fifth year at RIT. With over 1,300 acres and hundreds of buildings, there are thousands of ways to get lost on my campus. The solution to this dilemma? CampNav, our modern augmented reality navigation app focused on improving campus community engagement, accessibility, and most importantly, safety. My name is Vaughn Hassett, and I would be joined by my esteemed partner, Christian Burko, but unfortunately, he cannot attend the event tonight. We are a team of 2 young entrepreneurs looking to revolutionize the market of education technology, providing a more inclusive future for all. Through our combined knowledge of business and software development, we aim to provide the community convenience and a sense of true unity. Let's make RIT inclusive again. In our research, we surveyed over 150 students, and our data concluded that 83% of students have been lost on campus, spending upwards of 20 to 30 minutes searching for their classroom. Have you ever tried explaining to a parent where to find you on campus? It's kind of difficult, right? How about another? When was the last time you were made aware of fire evacuation routes, or even what to do when there's an active shooter on your campus? I'll answer for you. You don't. We're all expected to do as we see fit, and when does that really work? As a victim of gun violence on campus grounds, I'm constantly reminded that we are never really as safe as we think. Times are changing, but how we get help just isn't. Augmented reality, or AR, is a technology that combines the real world with computer-generated graphics. Remember Pokemon Go? We are using AR to enhance modern navigation in a way that hasn't been done before. What separates us from the competition is our seamless outdoor to indoor pathfinding, allowing for boundless traversal. Looking for a bathroom, avoiding stairs, office hours with your professor? CampNav makes it easy. The app is not just limited to navigation, though. We want CampNav to serve as a hub for all campus activity. We would like to foster a sense of community, making events easier to find. Not just any events, but events suggested to you, tailored toward your individual preferences, like your TikTok feed. I'm sure we're all familiar with Waze. Our app will feature a similar reporting system where users can ping potential threats, safety hazards, and other inconveniences. If an event is canceled, relocated, or at capacity, live updates will be provided to users as well. With smart integration, users can sync their schedules, reminding you when you need to leave and how to get there. Perhaps it's snowing, no problem. CampNav can route you indoors, avoiding the bad weather. Custom route preferences allow the navigation to fit to your needs or desires. So, who is this app for? Really, anybody who steps foot in the college campus. But our app is especially useful to new students, transfers, and students with disabilities. Take Maddie, for instance, an interpreting major at RIT, diagnosed with postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, where her heart rate elevates, like mine right now. She's complained for over 3 years of RIT's lackluster accommodations, referencing unserviced elevators, delays from closures, and constant construction on campus. If getting around campus is a hassle for able-bodied folk like me, I couldn't begin to imagine the gravity of their daily struggle. Our business strategy can be broken down into 3 main phases. Phase 1, secure flagship partnership with RIT through contract-based implementation, proving our technology in a complex campus environment. Phase 2, expand across Rochester, including Brockport, Nazareth, and University of Rochester. Leveraging our success at RIT to build a regional presence. Finally, phase 3, scale nationally to major universities, offering a proven solution for navigation challenges on campus. As we scale to these universities, our primary business model will be university subscriptions to access our platform, allowing for seamless integration with their existing systems, We offer custom integrations, including class schedules, security alerts, and university branding, all designed to enhance the overall student experience while improving overall campus efficiency. Beyond navigation, our platform provides universities with valuable data insights. By leveraging movement heat maps, schools can optimize campus planning, manage foot traffic more effectively, and enhance safety measures for students. This also helps with event planning, ensuring smoother logistics for large gatherings. By combining intuitive navigation with powerful data-driven insights, we provide universities with a comprehensive solution that benefits both administrators and students alike. If we receive these scholarship funds, we intend to purchase premium AI models, outsource development to experienced AR developers, general marketing fees and advertising, and the purchase of a company title or LLC, pursuing a patent and the protection of our intellectual property. So, let's recap what we covered here tonight. The problem is campus navigation is difficult, time-consuming, and lacks accessibility and safety integration. Our solution, CampNav, an AR-powered navigation app designed to improve campus community engagement, accessibility, and safety. Key features include seamless outdoor to indoor pathfinding, smart integrations with class schedules, safety alerts, and event tracking, community engagement tools such as custom event suggestions, live updates, and real-time reporting. CampNav is more than just an app. It's a movement toward a more connected, safer, and inclusive campus experience. Let's make RIT and campuses everywhere more inclusive for everybody. Thank you.
All right, taking any questions? If anybody has a question.
I want some questions. I want some questions. I want to be up here.
First of all, great job.
Thank you.
This is something that is definitely needed. I've been at RIT for going on 14 years, and I still get lost.
Yeah, it's a big campus, construction everywhere.
With that being said, have you done any customer discovery? I mean, for me, it would be a given. I would definitely use it.
Yeah.
But have you really canvassed the students to see what it is they want as you put more thought and effort into this app and what it's going to develop into?
Of course. We've had a Google form where we just had a general sheet that asks people what they want, what they use currently, and what they don't like. And what we have now is just lackluster for a technology school. The things we have, they're pitiful. We got apps that no one uses that iPhone automatically offloads because you never open it. So I forget about these apps. On top of that, we've also done just sitting down with people on campus of all genders and predispositions and just talking to them and finding out what they want, what they like about our app, and just the general complaints and consensus of how they feel on campus. What I want to address is that it's more than just accessibility I'm addressing here. It's also community engagement. RIT is a weird campus with weird people like myself, and we don't like to talk to people. So if I can make an app that connects the campus, I feel like I can just make a better college overall, not just on RIT, but all over the place. Okay. All right, that's amazing. Thank you.
I'm right here. So what's your sustainability plan? Like, you're also a student and you're about to graduate. So
Yeah.
being like, the founder of this, program or whatever, right? What happens to it after you leave?
Well, I'm not too old yet. I still got a whole year of college to go. I'm 20 years old, so I intend to be on college campuses for as long as I can be here. But I want to make sure I keep my connections that I have, especially with the younger class of people, present, strong, so I can continue to have presence all over, not just RIT, but campuses nationwide. As we prove what we can do here at RIT, this campus is huge. It's like 3 to 4 square miles. It shows that anything is possible at any campus. So it's going to be a lot of shaking hands and just going to these campuses and showing them a problem that we have the solution to.
Thank you, Jace, for that wonderful presentation. At this time, can we bring all the finalists to the front?
We just want to say how incredibly proud we are of each of you for having the courage to not only apply, but present up here today. Thank you for trusting us with your stories and putting in the work.
Yes, thank you all. We wish you all the best in being selected for the $2,000 prizes. As we end this segment of the night, we'd also like to thank our judges. There's a small conference room for you to deliberate in as you pick the winners. We also like to thank all of you. Thank you for coming out and supporting these wonderful finalists.
Next up, we have the ball portion of the night. The doors will be open at 6 p.m. So in the meantime, make sure you check in at the check-in table if you haven't.
You said 6 p.m.
Oh, it's way past 6 p.m. I'm live. Oh, okay, my fault. I'm sorry, y'all. Like 7? Okay, yeah, it's gonna start soon. Yeah. At the check-in table, if you're an undergrad student, please listen up. If you're not listening, if you attend the University of Rochester, RIT, and SUNY Brockport, you will be entered in an on-site scholarship.
If you didn't know, this year we'll be giving away 2 additional scholarships. So make sure you write your name on your slip at registration. Only if you attend the University of Rochester, RIT, and SUNY Brockport. Also at check-in, you'll be handed a meal slip. This will ensure you get your correct meal at dinner. This is to be placed in front of your plate on the table. Please do not lose this, because if you do not have a slip, you do not eat. Also, you have to have the meal that you gave to us when you purchased your ticket. Do not change your meal choice.
All right. Right outside these doors, we're going to have some light refreshments, so you guys can enjoy that as we transition into the ballroom.
Yes. Take pictures, eat, mingle. We'll see you all on the next board. Well, check in.